Alright, let's try to do a vlog with the neighbors drilling and hammering like there's no tomorrow. Greetings everybody, and welcome to today's update vlog on September 12th, 2024. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a bit of radio silence recently, and I thought it would be neat to just sit down and talk and kind of do a follow-up video on the previous vlog I made back in May of this year. So if you haven't watched that video yet, please go ahead and do so. The first one is about my father. Now, for those of you who don't know, my father is currently losing to cancer, and that is indescribable how it affects me and everyone else in the family. And it is by far the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life. So we're all doing our very best to be there for each other and to be with him for as long as we can. I also mentioned that there was a chance I'm gonna move to my girlfriend's place, and it's a complicated situation to say the least, and one I'd rather keep private. But basically, she lives in a town that none of us wants to live in, and so we're trying our best to move together in a different town where we want to live. But that's easier said than done. And then we have, the first point here, that as long as my father is alive, I kind of just want to, live nearby and be there for him. It's a tough situation, and hopefully it will be resolved in the best possible way in the future. And I'll try my best to keep you guys posted and how it goes. The third thing I mentioned was that I started running actively every other day to increase my stamina and improve my overall health. And I feared that it was just gonna be another routine that you give up after a couple of weeks and say fuck it. I have to say I'm pretty proud of myself. I've done well to keep at it and increase the intensity at a steady rate. And it's just going very well. But for the past couple of weeks I've had to cut it down a bit for reasons I'm talking about in this video. So topic number 2, I'm starting a new job at a golf clubhouse. Really exciting. So first off, it starts tomorrow, my first day, and it's basically maintenance of the golf course and around the clubhouse with the vehicles, the grass, vegetation, the driving range, picking up all the balls with one of those trucks. And it's something I've been thinking about for a while. It sounds like an environment I would like to work in, because I'm a nature type of guy. I don't really thrive inside corporate factory buildings, I really, really enjoy being out in nature. And this golf clubhouse, obviously it takes place in nature, is surrounded by forests and stuff. It's a very nice place, and I can't wait to start working there tomorrow. Although it's just an internship for starters, and then we'll see what happens later on. I'll keep you guys posted. So wish me luck, starting tomorrow. So topic number 3, one of the biggest reasons why I've taken a step back from streaming and content creating. On top of everything that's going on in real life, my PC stopped working correctly. It started crashing during stream, Chrome browser, everything just crashed randomly, and I had no idea why. And after a lot of head scratching and irritating moments, I decided to reinstall everything. And so part 1, I had to reinstall Windows 2 times. Because first time I tried Windows 11 for the first time, and it went, well and good. I liked it. I liked the new interface, and everything seemed to be in proper working order. However, when it came to my internal capture card, the AverMedia 4K Live Gamer, it just didn't want to work at all. And I tried my very best, followed a bunch of guides on the internet, but whatever I did, it just refused to work. So I had to reinstall Windows again, back to Windows 10, and then the capture card worked. So I don't know why it's like that, but hey, we're back on Windows 10, and I don't mind. I think it's fine the way it is. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then we come to part B, and this is probably the biggest time consumer of everything. I had to reinstall and re-implement all software. And I have a pretty sophisticated or complicated setup with, the streaming and my video creating. There's a lot of software, there's a lot of things going on inside the PC, and I had to re-implement everything and make sure everything ran like it used to, which it took a long time. Just keep it at that. It took a long ass time, and finally it's more or less back to how it used to be, if not better. And I think the cause for why the PC stopped working correctly in the first place was a faulty audio driver. But I don't know. And after everything was reinstalled and re-implemented, I did a couple of stability tests with streaming and, benchmarking and stress testing the PC. And all of the tests show okay results. I don't see any type of crashing or blue screens of death. Nothing. The system seems to be working fine again. And I was very worried while I was troubleshooting the PC that I would have to just give up, pull the trigger, and purchase a new PC. But thankfully, it's back to working as it used to. Needless to say, all of this was very stressful for me, and it took a lot of effort and time and energy. And so once the PC was back working, I just decided I needed to take some time off and breathe, because it's just been so stressful. So I stayed for a week at my girlfriend's place and just relaxed and enjoyed nature and, being with her, of course. And then afterwards, I visited my family in Gothenburg, and me and my big brother went to Liseberg, which is an amusement park. I've been there many, many, many times in my life. It's a great place to be at. It's not big by any means, but there's a lot of nostalgia, and it's been a long time since I've been there with my big brother, and so that was amazing. And I took a couple of photos and videos here and there, so I might show that now during the video. And then when I came back home and the computer was in working order, I did what I always do, more or less, stream maintenance. So, first thing first, I've added a bunch of new 7TV and subscriber emotes, and we can take a look at them right here. And they're all F-Zero 99 themed, so it's everything from the different course backdrops to the trophies, emotes of the pilots, boost icon, different icons for different things, and pilot portraits and the vehicles. Some of them haven't been approved yet, so hopefully soon enough. And then we have the subscriber emotes, which we can see right here. The two new ones are Huh, which are the question marks from F-Zero 99. And then we have a pretty funny one. It's Mute City face or head. So basically I took the Mute City, banner art and made it into an animated GIF of a head. So kind of like the Mute City is overtaking us. We're playing Mute City 1 so much that we're becoming it. So it's a little bit of a fun emote. Most of these are work in progress, and I update them from time to time when I find better ones. But basically, the difference for people who don't know, the subscriber emotes are emotes that you get and can use when you subscribe to the channel. And you can use them everywhere on Twitch without any third-party plugins. And you can also use them on Discord if you have linked your Twitch. And when it comes to the 7TV emotes, these are third-party emotes. And we have a total of 994 right now. So all you need to do is install 7TV extension to your browser, and you have upwards of 1,000 custom emotes to spam. And it's a lot of fun. Moving on with the list, we have a shadow plugin for OBS. Nothing crazy or anything, but it adds a drop shadow to some elements on the stream, like text and HUD elements, which gives the stream more depth and a little bit more of a professional feeling, I think. And then we have the F-Zero soundboard. It's something we've talked about in the streams here and there, and I finally went along and made it. So if we go over to the stream deck here, which is a thing I have on my desk with a bunch of buttons, which I can use to control the stream in real time. And this page right here has a bunch of F-Zero voice lines. For example, we have the boost power from F-Zero X.
You got boost power!
Number 4. As we clearly can't get enough of F-Zero, we've added sound alerts. And I know this may sound complicated out of context, but sound alerts are basically redeems. When people watch the streams, they get channel points, and they can use those channel points to redeem various effects. And one of them is sound alerts. And most of the F-Zero voice lines I've showed you on the stream deck are here in one single redeem. So you get a randomly selected voice line when you redeem the F-Zero sound alert. Moving on to number 5, I have prepared the F-Zero 99 anniversary stream, which will happen this weekend on Saturday. It's kind of crazy to think that F-Zero 99 is already 1 year old, and it's gonna be so fun to go back and watch my very first stream, my first gameplay session of that game. And we'll just go through bits and pieces of it and react and take a look at how it looked back then. So I hope you guys will join me this weekend, Saturday, for the F-Zero 99 anniversary. Number 6, I have edited the commission art, which is something I use in the top left corner of my streams sometimes. And it's something a friend bought to me a couple of years back. And still to this day, I really appreciate it because it's the first time someone has ever commissioned art for me. And while I still like it, there are some details about it that kind of nagged me in the long run. So this is the original. So I basically changed the color scheme to match my avatar with the rune. I made the Switch Joy-Cons actually look like Switch Joy-Cons and added the rune on top of the coffee mug here. And I also added a little sneaky Opeth logo on the shirt. So I'm gonna have that in the top left corner whenever I don't use cam on stream. So this was a fun little project. It's not often I use Photoshop for this type of work. Arriving at number 7 on this list, we have Discord banners. So something I've never used before is events on the Discord server. So whenever you go live, you can have like an event that shows everyone on the stream that, hey, there's something going on right now. There's a stream going on. And I was asked by the F-Zero Discord to add a banner to my community streams. And that gave me an idea. So this is the one I'm using for the F-Zero streams. This banner will show up on Discord whenever I'm live playing F-Zero. And then I've added a banner for my own Discord server whenever I stream, anything. So this might be a work in progress, but hopefully it's going to be more clear on the Discord server whenever I'm live. And you will see this neat little banner in the top left corner. Alright, number 8. I've changed the Undertale ending screens for whenever I'm ending the streams. And now they look like this. They actually show that original Undertale music video I made way back in 2016. And there are 2 versions of it. This one, which is more like the beginning of the song. And then we have part 2, which is the ending of the song, which is way more bombastic or epic. And in number 9, we have the return of intro fighters. I'm not sure if anyone remembers this, but like 10 years ago when I streamed, I used something called intro fighters, which looks like this. If you type something in chat, a randomly selected emote will be assigned to your name, and you will jump around on the screen and attack others. And you can do stuff like team battle and different events. And yeah, I thought it would be fun to bring it back and see if we can, do this whenever there's an intermission or whenever I'm starting the stream, for example. Moving on to number 10, I have prepared item trackers for randomizers. So for those of you who don't know, randomizers are mods for video games which randomizes different aspects of the game, usually items that you find. And having a tracker is very convenient for you and the viewers, so we can see what items we have found. And I prepared different item trackers for different games. And then in number 11, we have Stream Deck Overview. As I mentioned before, the Stream Deck is a device I use to control the stream in real time with various buttons. And I've been thinking for a long time to do like an overview, show everyone my setup. But the thing with Stream Deck and the stream itself is that it's not very stable. And what I mean about that is that it's like constantly changing over time. So if I would make a video on my setup, then it might be outdated in just a month or 2. And so I've just been postponing it over and over, like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait until my stream is perfected before I do one of these overviews. And at some point, I just have to sit down and do it. I'm gonna do a bigger video for my stream setup overall, but I guess I can give you a quick tour of my Stream Deck and just see what buttons I have and what they do. So this is the main page for Stream Deck, which I use for most games as it's quite flexible. And just going from top to bottom, we have scenes. This is a folder which controls the different scenes I have for different games and ending the stream, and also game-specific scenes. But we can head back out to the main page. I have a folder here with voice lines. So these are random voice lines for like Resident Evil and like laugh tracks and clapping. And then we have the Be Right Back folder, which contains different macros for going into breaks on different scenes. And then we have a basic break macro. So whenever I press this button, it will just automatically mute my microphone, enable music, pause the YouTube recording while I'm on break. And then I can just press one button whenever I'm done. So it's very convenient in that way. So if you go into it, you can see that just pressing the button will do all of these things in a row. Then we have another folder called commands. These are basic commands like my friend code or my anime watch list, my backlogged, my YouTube, my Discord server, just different links people can check out. Then we have a folder for levels, which is controlling the volume level for the desktop audio, the capture card audio, my microphone audio, and of course all of the alerts like prediction alerts and video alerts and so on. I also have two buttons here for delay and reverb, and they sound like this. And then I have a reverb effect for whenever the need arises. I used to do the reverb effect whenever I'm reading a diary in Resident Evil, so I'm gonna try to keep that in mind just for old time's sake. And then we have a folder for going live, which is just automating stuff in preparation for the stream itself. Then we have a win, lose, and death counter for whenever that happens during the stream. But for the most part, I completely forget about them because I'm so immersed in the game. But I want to try to remember it, especially for some types of games like F-Zero, where every time I crash out, or maybe Dark Souls, every time I die, or when we play games like, I don't know, Splatoon, every time I win or lose, there's like a counter for that. Then we have a basic macro for muting all of the alerts and unmuting them in case, something serious happens. I need to fully focus. I don't want any alerts to distract me. I can just press a button and it will mute all of it. And then we have anime mute, which is a complicated topic, but basically sometimes people can redeem anime openings and stuff on the stream, but it's copyrighted material. So I have to press this button to mute or pause the YouTube recording. And also mute the game and such so we don't have double audio. So that's what that macro does. Then we have a basic volume increase for the desktop audio and the capture card audio. Maybe there's like a interesting cutscene and we want to increase the game audio very quickly. Just press a button and that will increase it by 6 decibels. Then I have a toggle switch for my cam whenever I'm using that. And 2 buttons for laugh track and clapping track, which I showed before in the lines folder. These two are quite self-explanatory. They show how much percentage of the CPU and GPU is currently in use. This beautiful QWOP coin is symbolizing the channel point system, and it is a folder that contains different rewards that people can redeem, such as cat cam, emote only, no cam, and grayscale cam, different effects on the voice, the Japanese commercials and such. There used to be a lot more of these redeems, but over time, I've been steadily decreasing it as I kind of grew tired of the clown show aspect of the stream, if you will. Like when a bunch of people redeem a bunch of stuff, it takes away a lot of focus from the game and just becomes chaotic. And some of the old redeems affected me physically. Like I had to leave the room, I had to stand up or sit down, I had to take off my glasses or drink water, eat nuts. And sure, it was fun for a while, but over the course of many streams, it gets a little bit irritating whenever you want to focus on something and then someone redeems something and it just takes you out of it. So I've been trying to strike a good balance of having redeems that don't tamper too much with that stuff, but still adds, ways for people to interact with the stream in a fun way. Then we have a quick gamble text for whenever there's a prediction. People can use points to gamble on whatever they believe or doubt something. And this button will write a message in chat letting people know that there's a gamble going on right now. And whenever there's a funny or interesting moment, I can just press this button and it will save the previous 3 minutes of the stream in very high quality. And I can use that to do like an instant replay of something that happened in game, or I can use it for highlight videos. Then we have a basic volume controller for the desktop audio, capture card audio, and microphone. So I can just press a button and it will mute and unmute. And these 5 buttons all control foobar. And foobar is my music player. You know, the background music for the streams and such. It shows the volume. I can change to next song, pause and play, increase and decrease the volume. And that's the basic overview of my stream deck. But as I mentioned before, it's like constantly changing. And that's why in a couple of months, it may not look like this anymore. It's like a project that's constantly being worked on, and it's fun. And I try to make it as efficient as possible and clear. And now we arrive at the final point of this list, number 12, Story Playthrough Overhaul. This is something I've talked about in a previous stream, but I thought it would be nice to add it into this update video, so everybody knows. So from now on, whenever we play a story-based game or something that requires more attention, the game will take up the entire screen, so there won't be a bunch of stuff around it. No alerts will be visible on the screen, and alerts will only be audible live, but for the YouTube recording later on, it will not be there. And then you may ask why. And it's a complicated topic, so I'm gonna try to explain it as basically as I can. So way back in the day, I used to do offline Let's Plays, playing a game from beginning to end while showing everything in it, focusing on the story and the cutscenes, and just talking about the game. And that meant that there was more or less always 100% focus on the game itself and the story for immersion and following along with what's going on in the game. But when I moved over to streaming games instead, that changed some things. For example, when people type in chat or when they redeem something, it very easily takes focus away from the game and puts it towards the stream and the chat. And I don't want to sit here and make it sound like it's a bad thing only. I mean, streaming and interacting with chat and having a lot of fun is a lot of fun, and that's why I keep doing it. But I do feel that sometimes it's a disservice to the games whenever there is, you know, a story focus or immersion focus of the game. It's not very enjoyable for me and maybe some viewers on YouTube later on when the focus is constantly shifting between the game and the chat, and we talk about various topics. People jump in and tell, you know, us about their day or bring up a random topic, and then I have a hard time controlling myself and not responding to it and, you know, giving my 5 cents about whatever they're talking about. And that makes it so the focus is just jumping all the time between the chat and the different topics and the stream. Now, depending on the game, that's not a problem. Like if I play F-Zero, then there's no problem at all. But if I play a game from beginning to end where there's a lot of story, it can be a big problem. And that's one of the big things I noticed when I did full-time streaming. So I think this is a good in-between to have more focus on the game whenever we play a story-based game. But it was either this or go back to doing offline Let's Plays like I did before. And I'm gonna be honest, a part of me miss that aspect, like I did with Perfect Dark and Omori. That was the big one. Just a lot of offline recordings, just me and the game, full focus, just talking about that. And of course, sometimes rambling on about stuff that's going on in real life. And at some point, I might go back and just do a random series on a game, just do an offline Let's Play. But for the most part, I do want to stream, because I think the pros outweigh the cons, so to speak. But I don't want to sit here, again, I don't want to sit here and say that, you know, chat and the whole circus clown fest is just a bad thing. It's really fun, and that's why I keep doing it, of course. But yeah, sometimes I do miss being fully immersed in the game and just talking about the game and recording it for myself. Like most of those Let's Plays I did, like the one I did for Omori, I did it mostly for myself. It's like a way to document my first playthrough of the game, my initial thoughts, my initial theories about what's going on and stuff. And of course, I can still do that with streams, and hopefully with this, you know, change I'm doing, it's gonna be a nice in-between. So we're gonna give it a go and see how it ends. Speaking of ending, that was the end of this update video. I really want to thank you all so very, very much for watching and tuning in, both to this video and the streams, of course. There's a lot of jump cutting in this video, and it's due to me being a little bit rusty with my English and the neighbors drilling and hammering, goddamn. But we made it to the end. I would really appreciate it if you guys want to follow me on YouTube. If you want to see the stream VODs in their entirety, you can see it on Narokath Archives on YouTube. There's a link in the description and on the channel itself. Of course, the Twitch page where I stream. But I also try to do duo streams, like I stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And hopefully people enjoy that. And then if you want to check out my music, you can do that at Bandcamp. It's all very easily and neatly categorized with all the different albums and covers I've done. And of course, if you want to get in touch with me or the cozy little community we have, you can join the Discord server. You can also see whenever there's an announcement, if something is happening, whenever I'm going live. The Discord server is the best way to know. Or you can just, follow me on Twitch and enable notifications. But with that said, thank you all once again so much. I really hope you're all doing fine. I'm doing my best in my current situation. I'm hoping the new job is gonna go well tomorrow. And yeah, hope to see you on a future stream. Take care.